Hey there, folks. This is Mark Austin reporting from Birmingham, England, in late February at the UK Circuit Riders Conference 4.0. Today we held an online community building and engagement session 2 times, and what follows are clips from some of the participants, them sharing what are some of the challenges they face being part of or organizing online communities. The site that you are on right now is a place that'll be up for a month or two, and there are quite a few good resources here to click on and bookmark in the very least, so that you can reach them in the future. Cheers.
My name's Alison Moore. I'm the IT manager at the London Voluntary Service Council. In terms of challenges and sort of barriers to people joining online communities, I'd think on a basic level, there are issues about people's skills in being able to join in. There are also things in terms of often if people are involved in doing a job or doing a cause, that it's an additional, it feels like at first, an additional sort of drain on their time, and there might be a bit of a learning curve. So, you know, people aren't always eager to sort of get involved in something when they feel that they've got other things to do.
Hello, my name's Rob Harvey-Duffield. I'm from a small UK-based charity working with local community groups around empowering groups through IT. What I see as the biggest barriers to groups going online is basically that they don't have the technology. Money is a great issue amongst the small groups that I work with. They're running old technology. They're more mature people. They don't naturally go towards IT and IT products, and they have to be cajoled and coerced into getting involved and having a go with IT for the first time. And I think that until it may well be a generational issue, and until we get a bit further down the line, so to speak, that this is going to be something that is an inherent problem within the sector, I'm afraid.
I think the biggest challenge is keeping people engaged once the initial enthusiasm and interest has kind of started to wane slightly, because I think the key is actually keeping a community active and getting all the kind of participants to input and share their thoughts. I think, you know, the organisation I work for is quite a kind of, quite a progressive organisation in terms of its use of technology, and even our kind of online information sharing within the organisation, we struggle to get people to participate.
The challenges in relation to online communities, I believe, is convincing voluntary and community groups, not just the groups, but the committees and people who management committee who are in charge of the groups, that the online communities can improve the delivery of their service to their users. There are loads of online tools available to the for voluntary community organisations, but obviously they're overwhelmed with the amount of technology which is available to them.
I think one of the main challenges is keeping it on track, in that people have got many ideas. A lot of people want to get involved, but maybe feel like they are not knowledgeable enough, or that what they say might not be totally appreciated, or that they'll say something and somebody else will kind of jump on top.
I work for LASA, and we use the UK Riders as a means to communicate with other workers working in the same field of work in the same sector. Difficulties are making sure people have all the right technologies available to them when they need them to actually use and access the information they put on and take off the resource online. To also try and use the right terminology so that people are able to access it at all levels, particularly if you're working with the voluntary sector. It is difficult if you're perhaps from a technical background to use the language that is understood by people to make it as accessible as possible in that sense. And also, obviously, as a community, we want to make sure people with any form of disability are able to access that as a resource.
Sharon Stainsby. I run a network for information workers at the London Voluntary Service Council. I think the big challenges for online networking, I think firstly an awful lot of people just switch off when they even hear the term online networking. Also, it seems to take an awful lot of time. I've only recently started looking at all the different tools and ways of networking online, and it's actually taking up a huge amount of time just to go through and work out how things work and whether things are worth joining or setting up or whatever. And I think there's an awful lot of people out there who just don't use the internet, yet alone, get involved in all the things it has to offer.
My name's Sean Kenny. I work for Vosca, who are a CVS in Bristol, as the IT development people who myself and my colleagues want to engage in online communities are people who are very uncomfortable with computer technology in the round. So they have difficulty with maintaining their own computers, with email. They don't really understand how it works, and introducing them to Web 2 is a step too far for them. Although in some ways it's a lot simpler than the things that they've been trying to use to communicate in the past. But making them understand that change will make their lives easier is a very difficult proposition.
My name is Emmanuel Odiro. I'm part of the Superhighways project. In my view, the biggest challenge that is facing the community engagement online is that it's very difficult to motivate groups to get themselves engaged in this process.
Folks, there you have it. Some very helpful comments by your colleagues about the kinds of challenges that they face in relation to online communities. I hope you found it helpful, and see you on the flip side. Cheers.